Hello everyone, my name is Nadu Olenu and this is The Sixth Sense, and as usual, beautiful, assertive and astute ladies gather to share their views on issues. And if I say views on issues, I mean not exactly what you want us to say, because we have our own opinions to issues, and that's exactly what we are coming to discuss today. So help me welcome my ladies audience, please applaud. Yeah. And yes, I'm going to start from my extreme. Oh yeah, I love the vim already. I love the vim already. Yes. I'm going to start from my extreme right. It's a blank check, ladies. Okay.
Girls, you are looking beautiful.
Oh,
I must say,
you look beautiful.
Resplendent, resplendent. It's always good to be in your company. My name is Araba Kums and I'm an editor at Joy News. I do a lot of writing. That's what I do. But I enjoy, movies. I enjoy a lot of things, lifestyle things. So that's me in a nutshell.
Right, and I am Rosalind Felly. Of course, I am a presenter and producer on Joy Prime. We are here to give you everything that you need to hear on the show. So don't expect too much of seriousness, but expect some fun. And we will give it to you as you want it and as you deserve it.
So my name is Dr. Hannah Lisa, as everybody
The only
calls.
doctor here.
Yeah,
some fans.
Please, today I'm not going to be talking about health. I know most of you say, oh, Doc is here, she's going to say drink more water, take fruits and vegetables. No, today we're not talking about that. So I'm just here to have fun, express my views on some topics, and then let's see how it goes.
So ladies, quickly, let us allow our viewers to know what exactly we're talking about today. We're looking at when does discipline become too much, as well as should one always speak the truth. It's going to be interesting. And then tattoos. Would you have one? Or would you not?
That sounds interesting. Tattoos. I have a lot to say about tattoos.
Tattoos.
I'm going to hold on until we come to that.
Okay. So we're going to start with when does discipline become too much. So let's cast our mind back. Some weeks ago, we heard of a couple who beat their 4-year-old daughter to death because of bedwetting. And I was thinking, is that too much? We've all done that before. I mean, 4-year-old, you don't have to go to the extreme of beating the child and killing the child or something like that. I don't know what you think of it, but let me start with maybe Felly will start.
I think Araba will start.
I mean, because I'm familiar with the story, we did the story from our newsroom, and I mean, immediately I heard the story, it took my mind back to when I was about 5 years old. I had cousins who also were, wetting their bed, and they used to cane them before. But I had a grandfather who thought that, caning is not going to stop the bedwetting. It's a natural thing. They don't deliberately do it. And they're children, who would want to deliberately wet themselves, And so he, told our uncles and aunts not to be caning us. And gradually, they stopped wetting the bed. So really, I think that sometimes it's out of frustration that parents do this, but it's never, never acceptable when you beat your child so bad that you have to rush them to the hospital.
Okay.
Well, you know what I think? I think when it comes to discipline, it's more of a frustration for most parents. Most parents who go to the extreme are either poor, and they have a lot that they are going through, or single parents who are dealing with a lot of issues, and so they end up pouring out their frustration on the children. There are people who are also depressed, and they pour their depression on the children. And so when it comes to discipline, I think it's not that they do it intentionally to hurt their child, because obviously nobody will want to beat their child to kill their child. But then there is actually a psychological problem with those parents that haven't been dealt with, and they take it out on the children. And unfortunately, the children have to bear the consequence and, probably lose them. And it's actually something that we need to keep speaking about it till it stops, because disciplining a child, you could even use your eyes to just look at a child and you correct your child. You could say something to the child and correct the child without an insult. But when you go verbally abusive, when you go beating that child, now psychologically you're even affecting the child in future. So this child grows up and will even go into an abusive relationship and think it's okay for my spouse or my partner to beat me or hit me, and everything is fine.
Okay, so Felly, I agree with you to some extent, but where you said that the poor, you know, they will put their frustrations on the children. But that's where my problem lies.
Right.
That doesn't mean that the rich don't have frustrations as well.
No, that's what I said. Most frustrated people, and I say example. So yes, the frustrated rich people do it as well, because they might be battling with other things as well. So it's not just about the poverty, but then I use that as an example. So there are poor people who are battling with a lot, but when we talk about people who are poor, okay, it's just an example. They have a lot of issues as compared to the rich. The rich have issues. I'm not saying they don't. They do have their issues. But I mean, waking up in the morning and wondering how I'm going to feed my children is a lot of issue for you. You know what I mean?
I know, right?
Probably in your pocket, all you have is 1 Ghana cedi. How am I feeding these children? You look at them and they are even a nuisance to you, because their faces is like, why do I have them? If I didn't have them, I could probably feed on that 1 cedi and I'll be okay. So that's why I said an example.
I get it.
But then the rich are also there who are battling with their issues, and they also take it out on the children.
Yeah. Thanks for the clarification. So, Dr. Annalisa, is it a psychological problem? Let me just ask before you make your submission.
Psychological as in disciplining your children too
No,
much?
the bedwetting.
So, well, when it comes to bedwetting, there are a lot of issues that come with bedwetting. There are some causes that may be medical causes. Even sometimes the first sign of diabetes in a child is bedwetting, because you know when adults have diabetes, they urinate a lot at night, but they can wake up and urinate, but the child is unable to. And I don't know who told most Africans that by 3 or 4 years your child should be toilet trained. No, we are looking at least 5 years. Some people are late, so 5 to 7 years, it's okay. It's after 7 years that you can start being concerned. So if the child has an infection, the child would be bedwetting. If the child plays a lot, or the child is a deep sleeper. So it's not always that the child is lazy, but sometimes it should be the first sign of a medical problem or a psychological problem that your child should have. And so it shouldn't be a reason you are punishing your child. But the thing about discipline becoming too much is when it goes beyond the point of just wanting to correct. She mentioned frustration. I think that most African parents discipline their children when they are angry. So you see, you've done something, your mother is upset, she takes the nearest thing, she throws it at you. If she has a cane, she beats you till she's satisfied.
Right.
She wants you to cry.
Yes, she beats, and you know when they're beating you and you're not crying, it's like you're being stubborn. So they beat you till they feel that you have actually accepted what you did wrong. And even worse is those who wait till at night when the child is sleeping and start beating the child.
Wow.
The child is unable to link why she's being beaten to exactly what she did during the day. And so then it moves beyond the point of discipline, because there's no point. I don't know why you're beating me, and I think, okay, I did 5 things during the day. Maybe this is the reason you are beating me. And so we shouldn't move beyond the point of correction. Sometimes just talking to the child will make the child realize that, no, what she's doing is wrong. I was barely beaten growing up as a child by my mother. But the respect I have for my mother is really high, because just not wanting to hurt my mother was enough to discipline me. But it may be different for others. They have to be beaten. So I think that with every child, you need to identify what it is that is a corrective measure for that child, and then use it. But don't
I think that's where the problem lies.
You
The
have to
parents
find
don't
corrective
know,
measures.
and then they cross the line from discipline into abuse.
Yes.
So for them, they feel like they are disciplining the child,
yes.
but they are actually abusing the child because it's excessive.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
But should caning even be allowed in our homes? Because I know in some schools it's banned. So in our homes, should it be allowed? Because when we talk about Ghana here, I think people are actually caning their children. But
I think 1 or 2 strokes.
When we cross the borders, it's like you can't beat your child.
Rose, I think 1 or 2 strokes is okay.
What goes into disciplining a child? What should be avoided? What should be done?
So going beyond the point of discipline, like when you see that you are physically hurting the person, verbally hurting the person, when it gets into abuse, then there's no point. You are not disciplining the person. Just make sure that this is what you did wrong. Are you sorry? Sometimes go and kneel in the corner, raise your hand, or there are certain families.
Some children are very stubborn.
Yeah, but
this
there are certain families that everybody is traveling. You are not going to travel. That alone is punishment for them.
Who's going to take care of the child then?
Oh, they take you to an auntie or your grandmother. So the whole family has traveled on a family vacation and you have been left in Ghana.
See, and
they will repeat that.
One thing I've realized about parenting is that you cannot take some of your children and leave the other. So that as a parent, you feel bad.
So that is the next time the person will do that.
Even though you want to punish your child or discipline your child, you never feel good about it because you want to give all your children some level of class or respect or the same level of treatment, let me put it like that. Although that one child is naughty, you still don't want to treat them differently.
So Rosalind, if your children are naughty and you want to discipline them, you and your husband, what do you do? Give us a practical example.
So it depends on how naughty. It depends on how naughty. So there's a naughty corner. Okay, that you could go to the naughty corner. There's the
what's the naughty corner? What do you do there?
You go into the corner and you face the wall.
You face the wall.
So you face the wall. You don't watch TV, nothing, and everybody will be watching TV. You can hear the sound of the TV.
What does that
do to them? It can actually.
Okay, they feel embarrassed.
No, they don't feel embarrassed. They feel hurt.
pain,
Okay, so everybody's watching TV and I'm not watching TV. You know, and you can hear the sound of the background. And everybody's watching cartoon and they are laughing and everything, and you miss out on it, and they cannot stand it. Children cannot stand that.
Okay.
They don't like isolation at all.
I see. So it works.
For my sons, Araba, my 8-year-old boy, he loves Nickelodeon. So just tell him, PJ, you're not going to watch Nickelodeon for the next 3 days.
Okay.
He would cry his heart out. And then the younger one, he loves baby TV. Mommy, put it there. Because you did this and that, I'm not going to do it.
Right.
You see, so it's not necessarily like Feli is saying, caning. No.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily caning. So I don't know what you would do if your children, do that.
On a reality ground, sometimes as a parent, you are pushed to the wall that you end up
have
hitting
to
the
knock
child.
a little.
Sometimes you have to train yourself. Sometimes you beat them.
You have to be realistic. It's not working. Her brother,
especially male children, they're really stubborn.
Although the naughty corner is working, sometimes when we are
I'm
pushed
the
to the
type that when I'm
wall.
beating you, you don't cry. I'm hurt.
So you see,
and then when you
so
cry,
if
you
you
go
don't
like,
take
"Stop crying,
care,
don't cry."
I don't see tears. I don't see tears. I'm really hurt. Yes.
So I think that all in all, it just shouldn't go beyond the point of discipline into abuse. And the most important thing is that the child should know why they're being punished.
Right.
We fail to tell them why they are being punished, so they would repeat it. Also, it's not everything that deserves to be punished. Like I mentioned, if your child is bedwetting and it's because she has an infection or it's an early sign of diabetes, even bedwetting is hereditary. So if you, the mother or your father, you were bedwetting,
adults
you were bedwetting till 10 years and you are beating your child for it, your child won't stop till they're after 10.
Perhaps they're just passing on the practice.
Who will know you bedwetted?
You, the mother, knows.
No, so you keep quiet about it and then you actually punish the child.
You see, that's unfair.
But you know what they're doing is just passing on the practice. So because they were caned when they were younger and they were bedwetting, they feel that is the right thing to do because it made them stop.
Sometimes they feel, they feel that is what made them stop. But
Exactly.
no, it wasn't that. Maybe it was an infection that was treated.
Exactly.
You understand? And so, or maybe you got to the age where maybe 7, 8, and then you just naturally stop, because most people stop on their own.
Or maybe you stopped having the dreams that you stood at a washroom and you started peeing. The dreams
But
changed.
you know, we've limited the discipline to bedwetting, but there are so many forms of things that kids do that we need to discipline them. But we use the story on Joy Online, about the 4-year-old who was beaten to death because of exactly. Right, thank you very much, ladies. Thank you, Araba. Thank you, Rosalind, and thank you, Dr. Annalisa, for wonderful submissions. Now we hit the streets and find out what people are saying about our topic today: when does discipline become too much?
Discipline is too much in the school when the teachers tend to go overboard with the caning, especially, and they're not also looking at the emotional being of the child. That's for the school. So it's about how much they use the cane on the child, and then also how much they also speak to the child in terms of words. Words are powerful, so sometimes even the words might even more be stronger than the cane. So that's when it might be too much. And when the child isolates themselves, that is when you see that the discipline may have gone overboard. When it comes to the home, it will be too much, of course, beatings as well, and the abuse. So if you see that there's bruises, obviously it's too much. And then again as well, words. I always say words are most powerful. If a child is not close to you, then obviously you've lost that as a parent. I'm a parent, so I understand from that aspect. And at the workplace, the employer is instilling, is becoming, is going overboard with the staff. Then, of course, if the staff revolts, that's when you realize that it's gone overboard. All the companies that are succeeding now is because the discipline is being measured to a fault where they know how to manage it. It's about management at the end of the day.
Sometimes very boring. Because we were crazy, hey, yeah, but when you're in school, like, at least you have some kind of freedom, you understand? So I'll talk basically at home. Sometimes you be on your phone and be like, they be out the phone, Charlie. They talk too much. Well, when at least you get some freedom. So that's my opinion about it.
When we talk about discipline, there are so many forms of discipline. It is not only about beating up the child or using strings on the child that is discipline. We have grounding as a form of discipline. It depends on what the child has done that you are disciplining him. If you want to discipline a child, you look at the measure at which the child has done something wrong. You see, before you can discipline a child. Now, government has banned teachers from using canes on children. Some way it's helping, another way it's not helping. You get it, but it's a balance something. You don't discipline a child just because you feel like so. By disciplining a child, for him or her to know that this is what I have done. That is why mommy or daddy or my teacher is disciplining me. So you look at the measure of which a child has done before you think of beating him or her. Workplaces, some people take things for granted. The fact that maybe you have a friend or maybe the boss or something is your friend, so you choose to come to work anytime you like. No, but productivity is what we are looking for here. You don't sit in the house and then there are others in the house looking for jobs to do, they don't get it. So you are here and you are not making yourself useful, then there's no need being there. You get it. So whatever work you find yourself doing, make yourself useful. That is it.
It's not about the place. It's not to say it's too much at home, it's too much at school, or it's too much at the workplace. But I think it's the mode of administering the discipline. That is what will make it too much. There are some kind of disciplines, as a teacher, you can't give a student. And there are some kind of discipline as a parent, you won't administer a discipline based on a wrongdoing. You can't pile a discipline and use it on one. Listen, even if it happened like that, the child will not understand the issue. So as and when the child needs to be disciplined, you do it moderately, for the child to understand. At work, okay, at work it's the same. You can't say, let's say I've absent myself from work, and then my boss didn't complain. And he put it down for me. And at a next little thing, he fired me based on... But looking at it, maybe what I did before he fired me, I'm not supposed to be fired based on that. You understand my point? So it's not being too much, but the mode of administering the discipline. That is what to make it too much. Or the wrong is not qualified to receive that kind of discipline. Yeah, that's what I would say.
The students don't obey the teachers. So it gives the teachers the chance to discipline them, to be able to not repeat the same action they did before. And for the home, I think our parents must discipline us to enable us to be on the right path.
Welcome viewers, you're still watching Citizens here on Joy Pride. Araba, what's next for us?
So we'll be going to our next topic, but I'm sure that the ladies have a word or two just to wrap up the discussion on, when does discipline become excessive or too much? I'll start. And I think that as a parent, if your child is misbehaving, try to understand why the child is doing what they're doing. There may be a reason for which... for why the child is acting the way that they are acting. So it's important to understand where the child is coming from.
I think we should ask questions. Why did you do this? Why didn't you do it this way?
Yeah.
But we fail to ask questions. So I think we should ask questions.
But what if the child lies? in trying to, you know, get the truth from the child?
We'll be talking about when to speak the truth and when not. So we'll hit that one.
All right.
Rosalind.
I think that every parent must know their word very well. It's very, very important. And try as much as possible to have a good relationship with your child. When you build a bond with that child, even if you have certain problems, you don't take it out on that child, because that child will become so special to you that you treat the child well. And also try as much as possible to seek help if need be.
Okay. All right. So,
Also,
yes,
Doctor?
Also, I think that the child should know why they are being punished. Take time out as a parent to explain to the child why they are being punished and let them know what you would have expected them to do in that regard. Not every child understands that, okay, I shouldn't have collected food from this woman, so it means that every woman I shouldn't collect food from the person. Make sure that you're not punishing your child for something they can do nothing about, because it could be an illness and there's nothing they can do about it. So make sure that you're not punishing them unnecessarily.
all right, interesting. So you've heard the wonderful nuggets of advice from our lovely ladies, my lovely co-hosts. I hope that you are taking down notes, because we all have a thing or two to learn from this particular subject. But we're going to take a short break. There's a lot more to discuss after the break, including, should one always tell the truth, or should you lie sometimes? Stay with us after the break.
Everyone is welcome back. I know the conversations are not ending, especially when it comes to discipline, because everyone has their opinion on what should be done and what shouldn't be done. If you thought our first discussion was interesting, then trust me, this is going to have you glued to your seats. Because do you think that one should always speak the truth? Many years ago, I would have said, yes, you have to always speak the truth.
Really? You've changed
But
your mind?
please, I have, in the sense that I've realized that sometimes you withhold the truth a little till a better time. But please, let me give you the chance to tell me what you think.
So when did
before
you
we
come to that realization?
So when I started working in the clinic.
Okay.
Yes, because sometimes I have the truth.
Okay.
So there's a patient.
Okay.
I know you're going to die. I know you're not going to make it. The family member comes to me and says, is my person going to make it or not? I can't say you're going to die. But I know that this disease, 6 months tops, you'll be gone.
Yeah.
But I can't say it.
But why
So-
not? Isn't it better to tell them the truth so that they
Because
start preparing for
Life
the
is not in my
inevitable?
hand. What if I say you're going to die in a miracle? Okay, say you don't die.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So yes, when it came to that, and of course with the confidentiality issue, so a husband tells me, I have this disease, and the wife comes and says, what does my husband have? Do you know? I won't say I know. I have to withhold the information and lie and say no. Allow him to tell you. I haven't been truthful, but because of the confidentiality clause, I cannot speak. And so that's what has changed me a bit.
What about telling the wife that, look, because of confidentiality, I know, but I can tell you? Because she should understand.
Do you think they want
They'll be able to tell.
They should understand.
If you came to me, no, you see, it depends on what it actually is. So maybe you have an infection and you suspect your husband is cheating, and you come to me and you are saying, "Oh, doc, is my husband cheating because he has an infection?" I'll say, "I know the answer, but I can't tell you."
So I have a problem why doctor is, limiting it to her profession.
Right.
What other lies have you told?
Oh, everybody lies. No, I'm just saying my outright answer initially would have been yes, always speak the truth. But as time went on, I realized that I've been withholding a bit of it for a later time. And I'm sure we all do that because you can hear something, but you meet somebody at a time when you can't give them that information. Right. So you withhold the information. That is also being dishonest. Yeah. That is also not being truthful. But of course, let the discussion not be from only me. Yes. How about what you think?
Well, I mean, at the core of it, I mean, it comes down to a principle of honesty, right? Being truthful means being honest. And we're raised to be honest and always tell the truth. From where I stand, because of my job, I cannot lie. I cannot lie, yes. I mean, because, you know, one of our principles in my job is accuracy and truthfulness. And so we are always urged or encouraged to always tell the truth, no matter how hard it is to swallow. Especially because we are like holding politicians and, you know, public officers to account. You know, so we need to always be we need to expose them, and in exposing them, we're telling the truth to the people, the larger public who need that information, which will inform them maybe next time when they're going to the polls to decide how to vote or not to vote.
So you don't lie at all?
We don't lie, not necessarily.
No, please.
Oh, okay.
Somebody will call you and say, Araba, this story.
Okay, so
You are releasing it and going down with it.
No, but you see, there are instances where we have had to withhold
Yeah,
information.
that's it.
But for a good reason.
So everybody has a good reason.
No. So, for example, you have information that is important for the general public to know, but you have to also be very, I don't know what the word is, but you don't just put it out there because it could affect or impact. Yes. A lot of, or maybe a minister is dead,
or
your
the vice president. Normal life. I mean, you don't
away from the profession. I don't know why they are all using their profession.
You don't lie. Like,
you've never lied to your boyfriend, your mother. How?
Use your personal life to start.
No, you can't put me on the spot. But I don't understand why the two of you want to use the profession. So I'm coming back to Araba, or you can even take it up. We can even take it up. Oh yes, I won't say I don't lie, even though I know that it's not good. You know, the thing is that see, let me just, I'm coming. Okay. Let me take my Bible.
Okay. All right, let's see.
So you want to tell the truth, but sometimes something tells you that not this time. You know, there's time for everything. Not this time, like Dr. rightly said. Not this time. Don't say right. See, I read something when I was coming. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 15. It says that speaking the truth in love, we are to grow up in every way unto Him who is the head. Me, my thing is that eventually, me, I'm a fiero pa. Like, I know that eventually, I don't look like one. No. Get closer. Eventually, I believe that if you lie, eventually it will come right back to you and hit you on the face. So I prefer, let me tell you the truth, get angry, do whatever you want to do, but at the end of the day, when I go and sleep, I know that I'll have a sound sleep and say to myself that I told the truth and I'm okay. I don't care what you think about it.
Is there a specific time to tell the truth? Do you tell it, or do you have to, you know, gauge the environment, the mood before you decide to tell the truth? So would that then mean that you're lying?
Yes,
withholding the information.
Yes,
exactly.
No, not necessarily.
Wait.
If you are withholding the information, that's not saying you are lying.
If they ask you, so somebody is anxious and comes to you and says, Araba, this is what I've heard, but you're looking at the person's anxiety level and you're like, no, this is not the right time. So you tell the person, there's nothing wrong. You've lied.
So wait, are you ladies telling me that you don't lie?
We lie,
madam. You're trying to, but I'm saying,
because you know what? We all lie.
Yeah.
From infancy, like we all lie. Hey, did you put that toy here? No, mommy, I didn't, because you don't want to be beaten. You will lie.
Right.
You go into a relationship, you want to save that relationship. You cannot speak about some things, you know, in that relationship. You will lie to keep the relationship.
Exactly.
My father once told me that there's something called the white lie. You can't spill it all. My darling, you cannot spill it all. And so you can't give all the information. No. Because sometimes that information you're given could be hurting the next person. And so lie. Look, it means you have to lie to save
if
yourself.
It's necessary.
Madam, you
if
have
it's
to
necessary.
lie.
All lies are lies.
If it's necessary, yes.
If you take the meat No. Meanwhile, you took it's a lie. And it's okay. Are you dating this person? No, it's also a lie. So which all is a lie. Lie. You know, we can't be truthful all the time.
Even though we know that we ought to tell the truth, we can't do it because of times.
Exactly. Look, even our pastors lie. They stand on the pulpit and they lie.
Hey, really? What do they lie about?
Some will tell you that.
Did your pastor lie about something?
Not my pastor, but I know some pastors who have told history of how they were.
Even some of the prophecies.
And it's not true.
Oh, okay.
It's not true. Some have told us, oh, they were trotro mates. They were not trotro mates. Yeah, they will tell us so that they will inspire you. They just want to inspire you.
Okay.
You know what? And you know when
So is that a white lie, like your father told you? Is that a white lie?
Because you know what? He's going to let people get, work harder.
So which one is the black lie though?
Yeah, like our parents telling us that they were always first in class.
Exactly.
It was to motivate us, but
So that's a white lie.
turns out, man.
So at what point should you withhold the truth? I know we talked about, gauging the environment and the times and all of that, but at what point should we withhold the truth? When we are confronted to tell the truth, at what point should we withhold it?
I think you should think about the person, the mood in which the receiver is in. Okay. I mean, even if you don't want to withhold the information at that particular time, you need to, they say, read the room. So the person you're speaking to, is the person stable, mentally stable to receive such information at that particular time? Right. If not, wait till a more opportune time and then give the information to the person. Otherwise, you may end up causing more harm than good. So it's not like you're lying, but you're withholding information, which may also be seen as dishonest, but later on it turns out to be in the interest of the person. You were talking about your job. Of course, you can't find out that maybe somebody has done something and then you won't go through the right channel and just come and sit on air. You're supposed to be reading the news, and then halfway through the news you stop. Hey, okay, breaking news, and you start talking about no, you will cause unnecessary fear, panic, and all of that.
Exactly.
So I think that you need to.
But I want to know, withholding an information and lying, is it not two different things? Because I could withhold the information and give it to you at the correct time, and I could actually lie to you. That's different, because I know the information is A and I tell you it's B. That's a lie. But if I withhold it from you because at this particular point in time you don't need to hear it, and I tell you I don't know anything, or I don't say anything about it, I don't even say anything at all.
Okay, so if you don't say anything,
if I don't say anything because I've withheld the information, that's different. But if I tell you I don't know, then I've lied to you.
So it depends on what you do whilst you are withholding the information.
So at that moment, what answer do you give to the person? I want to know, Rosalind, I want to know. Please help me. What happened? I want to know. You want to withhold the information, but what do you tell the person?
You've even seen your friend's partner cheating.
It's none of my business.
You don't want.
It's none of my business.
That is it. And you don't want it to be heard from you. It's your best friend. She's crying to you. You will say you didn't see. You were not there. Why? Because you want to save her marriage, save her relationship. You are lying.
Don't say you were not there. Just that percent. Don't say. What are you saying?
Have you been in a situation like that?
What are you doing there?
Rosalind, the way you are acting, it looks like you know something. You've been in that situation.
I think we've all been in situations where
I'm there. You tell me, oh my boyfriend is cheating. Oh really?
Your
boyfriend is cheating?
How about your friend's boyfriend, and you know your friend's boyfriend is cheating?
Is it my business?
So and you see your friend crying all the time.
You're keeping the information to save your friend's
relationship.
But I'm not lying, am I?
You're lying.
Sometimes the relationship is not going well.
That you knew and you didn't tell her.
I was saving her from crying.
Really? You see, that's what the whole lying thing comes, because there are certain things that you feel it's not my place to say. Well, you can find out, but it may not be my place to say. And some things too, what if you misread whatever you saw? There have been people who've been seen in corners with people and they weren't cheating. What if it was a business meeting?
And doing in the corners with somebody else, with your friend?
Sometimes you not telling the truth at that particular time might even cause your friend you know, a tragedy. Something
Look,
can
I
happen.
think
You
when
would,
it
you
comes
would
to
regret
relationships,
not telling
when
your friend.
it comes to relationships, stay away from the truth.
Like away.
Away.
Like away.
See, it's none of your business. If the person is cheating, let the person cheat. It's none of your business. Because, you see, there are things people do behind closed doors you don't know anything about. So don't go and tell this person that your person is cheating. What about yours? Do you know what's happening in your household?
Okay, so ladies, we've heard all of you. Let's hear what the general public has to say. So we hit the streets to ask you this same question. Here's what you had to say.
There are certain times we have white lie. A white lie doesn't hurt anyone, but just clear the air so that everybody will be free. You understand? And there is a saying that if you want to obey all the rules, you miss all the fun. Sometimes it's not to hurt someone by lying, but just to suit everything so that, everything will be fine. So it doesn't mean when you speak the truth always, it will free you always. Sometimes you speak the truth and you get into trouble rather. Yes. So sometimes you have a white lie, which will just clear the air and everybody will be fine.
If you speak truth and there's a problem, I believe it's good. That is my point. Speaking truth is necessary to me because you may lie to somebody and in a very short circumstances you save the person, but in the long run the truth will prevail. And when it prevails, everybody will see that, oh, this guy is not truthful, or this man is not truthful, or this woman is not truthful. So in this case, I think it's better for you to say the truth. When you say the truth, I know majority at that particular moment will oppose you, but to you and to your God, I know that when you say the truth, things will be normalized in the long run. There was a particular instances whereby I work with a particular institution. When a lady decided to say false information about me, all the people are saying that you should go and say the truth. You should go and say the truth. And then people are saying that, okay, go and tell the lies. I'm saying, I will stand. So I discussed these things with my spouse. And what they gave it to me, I was in that. I was in support. Because they were in their position, they were telling me that I should tell the truth. So that in the long run, when the truth come out, people that are opposing me will now visualize and will not see the truth. So that's my position.
I think you should always speak the truth. You should always stand out for the truth, even if it will bring a problem. Because if you keep lying, the problem keeps growing. So it's better you end the problem with the first problem.
It's not always you should speak the truth. Some truth are to be kept so that you prevent a whole lot of damage. Yeah. I'm not going to say the truth whilst I know that it's going to bring a whole problem and stuff. But some it needs to come out to save the day. Yeah. Human being, this our race, we lie to survive. Yeah.
Even if it will bring whatever it will bring, the truth should come out. Because it will come out anyways. So why waste time? Yeah. Have I lied to save myself? Oh yes, a few times. But the truth came out. That's what I'm saying. It is better to say the truth. Yeah.
It depends on one works of life or why one finds himself or herself. But speaking the truth gives you a credibility and it makes people being able to vouch for you. You understand me? Yeah, so in our modern setting and looking at people telling lies, especially on the internet and on social media, it has become the order of the day. But I believe, when you are truthful and in your own special way, and it also depends how you are truthful. Sometimes maybe you might be truthful, but the way you might pass your message or speak it might also not be in the right proportion. So definitely yes, once in a while. Yeah.
You lying will make you lie more. So always speak the truth. That's what is needed. I can't really tell, but that's lie. It's I don't know. I don't even know why I lied, but it's because I know it won't create any problem.
interesting views there, a lot of perspectives to share on this particular matter, and we will not end the debate now, but we do have to end the debate because we have another topic that we need to discuss, and Rosalind will take us to that topic.
Yes, and I'm excited about this particular topic. We are talking about tattoos. Are you willing to have a tattoo? Well, my ladies here will tell us when we come back from the break, so do stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back from that break. This is Sixth Sense. I'm here with the beautiful ladies. Araba is here, Anna is here, Anna is here. My name is Rosalind Felly, and of course, this particular segment we are talking about tattoos. Are you willing to have a tattoo? Araba is so big on it. I don't know about Anna. I don't know what Na has to say, but Araba, what do you have to say about tattoos?
That's my response to that. I don't like them at all. In fact, any man that I've come across a few men who have tattoos who made advances at me, and once I saw the tattoos, I was totally turned off. Wow. Honestly, I don't know why you have to have extra, markings or drawings on your body. I mean, God made us perfect. Why do you add to it? I know.
Why that face? Why that face? Why that face?
No, in fact, somebody's loving you and you're looking at a tattoo.
No. It puts me off. There's certain things that just put people off, and that just puts me off.
They're red flags.
Yeah. They're red flags, yes. It just puts me off.
Wait till you hear mine.
For me.
Wait till you hear mine.
All right, tell us.
Because the face you've given to Araba, I don't even know what you're going to give to me. Okay, so I know that tattoo has a lot to do when it comes to people. In other countries, I know that probably India, they adore and love tattoos. I learned that some of them would just, like a ring finger, they'll just do a tattoo of the ring and it's there. They can decide to wear the ring or not to wear the ring so far as the tattoo is there. Some will put something on their hearts. When you put something on your heart, it means that you love somebody and you put it there. When you put at the back of your neck, and maybe you are brave, you are daring, that's why you put it there, because behind your neck, people assume that, okay, that's a place that your dresses, your apparels cannot cover. So you are daring, that's why you put it there. I read a lot about it. But, Antenna,
it's a no for you.
It's a no for me.
Right.
The other day I was sharing with some people that I grew up with my grandma. And she's so strict that, some things, it's just a red card. So I grew up not to love it. But once I watched a movie of Tonto Dike, she had some tiny one be like that. I don't know if you've seen that. I just love, I love the stars. I love it, but I would not go for a tattoo. It's a no for me though. Right. So, but the face you're giving me, it's nicer than our best one.
Yes. I actually turned down a man because of a tattoo.
But everybody has.
Honestly,
I feel like I wouldn't go for a man with a tattoo. It depends on the kind of tattoo as well. Or once
it was actually huge. It was actually.
Yeah, I think it's also
it was huge, and I thought that if it's small and tiny,
so if you had a face of Jesus, if you had a face of Jesus,
did Jesus have a tattoo?
No, I'm asking. If you had a face of Jesus, would it?
Anyway, let's find out.
I'm telling you.
You even get to know the person.
No, so I'm telling you, it depends on the kind of tattoo.
No, I didn't get to know the person.
I know, we don't like it.
I saw the tattoo on the second occasion of our meeting, and I just thought, okay, you know what? I mean, the person was generally okay, but I think
even
when I saw the tattoo,
it was a no.
Roslyn, wait, do you have a tattoo?
Wait.
Oh, it's just a question. Why?
I think I've seen really cute tattoos, and I've seen ones that are like scary and wild. I've seen dragons and scorpions and all sorts of things on people. Some tattoos are nice.
But
I've seen people with tattoos, and I'm like, oh, that's a really cute tattoo. I saw one of like a whole nice forest and birds, and forest. It was really like
on a person's
on the person. It was nice, really.
Part of the body.
The back. It was nice. Okay. It was really nice.
Okay.
I've seen nice ones. I won't say, but personally, I don't see myself bringing myself to have a tattoo because even my hairstyle, I change it frequently.
Okay.
So having one thing permanent, I feel like I'll get tired of it. That's the first thing.
Exactly.
Secondly, I can't even get one to decide. I can't decide on one particular thing. Okay, do I go for a butterfly? Do I go for a star? I can't settle on one.
Okay.
Now there's the issue of pain, please. I can't go through that pain. And then also because of where I'm coming from, the risk of infection, allergies, blood related. Sometimes the allergies will occur years after you've done it. When you increase in size, it can change the look and appearance. I feel like it's too much stress.
What about dating a guy who has a tattoo? Are you
so it depends. It depends.
Scream on the depends.
It depends on the kind. No, I'm going to be very honest. It depends on the kind of tattoo the person has.
Right.
Really. Because we are from different cultural backgrounds, and there are some people who do it just because. And when you go outside, it's very common. It's just a work of art, and so they don't even. Most of them don't even have meanings to what they have. You ask them, "Why have you done this?" They don't know. Some people have maybe they've lost the parents and they just have the date. Or those ones are very significant to the people. Some have it on parts of the body where it's just for them. They're not having it to show the world. So it's only when they take off their clothes. So initially, I used to have a no, but with time. I came to understand that when you look at different cultural settings, when you take time to understand why does this person have this, if I had found myself wherever they were, I may have even had 1,000 or I may have inscribed something on my body and all of that, and then I became more accommodating to why people had tattoos. But if you have dragon, honest, I'm being very honest.
It's all right.
I'm just saying that for me, it's a bit scary. I like you're sleeping by me and there's a dragon staring.
Anyway, so with me, I think that I don't have a problem with tattoos at all. I'll be getting one very soon.
Yes. You don't have any on your body.
So what I have is actually
so
they call it a 3-layer.
Okay.
Right? And they're trying to use fashion to change the name a little bit. So they end up calling it microblading.
Okay.
And microblading or micro shading. So it's like a 3-layer. But my goodness, it is so painful.
So why do you have to go through that pain?
They like beauty. So it's pain.
Rosalind, which part of the body?
It's on my eyebrows. So my eyebrows, yes, I tattoo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's different.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's different.
I tattoo my microblading. And it's painful. If anybody tells you it's not painful, the person has lied to you. It's extremely painful. But I'm willing to go through the second one. Yeah.
Pain's gone.
Beauty is pain. Beauty is pain. If you want something and you want it, you get it. It doesn't matter what it takes. So I'm going to get it on my wrist, actually.
A butterfly or a love or something.
No, I'm going to write that. So I'm definitely going to get it. And I actually told the producer to get me a tattoo artist to tattoo.
So
but
how will your
he
husband
didn't
take it?
He knows that I'll get it.
Oh, he knows.
Yeah, he knows.
So is there a question of negotiation, or like you're telling him, I am getting it, and you're going to be okay with it?
He will be okay with it. but I don't see anything wrong with a tattoo.
Yes,
I always believe that beauty is what we believe in. So if somebody believes that having a snake on their body is beautiful, that's what the person feels confident in. There are people who are battling with depression, and the way they battle with it is through pain. Battling, like fighting pain with pain. So people have gone through tattoos, had tattoos because they were fighting their pain with another pain. And believe me, people who have done that have gone through, a phase and it's faded off.
But Rosalind, Dr. Hannalisa talked about the risks associated with tattooing.
Everything has
the risk of infection.
Even having a child has
I see you brushing that off, but if you had to go for a tattoo, what would you go for? What symbol?
So like I said I was going to write Dad.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I'm going to write.
Just that.
When I was in uni, I wanted to get one on my waist. Which I never got because at that time I was scared of the pain.
But the pain is still going to be there.
Maybe right now the endurance level is higher. I walked into tattoo studios to ask for the prices. I didn't get it, and so I ended up getting more piercings. And I will get.
Are they expensive?
Tattoos are expensive.
Wow.
Yes, tattoos are very expensive.
Why though?
I don't know why, but they are expensive.
Because there are a few expensive and painful. What's this?
Really?
Expensive and painful.
You know the beauty of life. Everything painful is expensive. Having a child is painful and it's expensive.
Wasn't just
I think that to get that but I think that you need to understand people. Initially, like this guy that you were talking about, I would have wished that you probably took more time to understand the person. You would have seen that, oh, maybe he got it. I have a friend who tattooed his father's name on his leg because when he lost his father, he couldn't deal with it. And so he just walked in, he drank a lot, walked in and had that tattoo. So he doesn't even wear shorts because the whole leg, you understand? Yes, so people have stories.
So what does that do for him?
You
like
know,
once he sees it, it reminds him of the bond he had with his
let me give you an example. So when I lost my dad, last year.
Sorry.
And I was going through so much pain. The pain was unbearable. And my friend said, she had done her microblading, and I said I wanted to do it, and she said it's painful. I said yes, I want to do it, and I had cried continuously. When I did that tattoo on my brows, some pain left.
Oh really?
Yes.
So it was like a form of therapy.
Yes.
Some people.
Yes. Yes, and I healed partially.
Okay.
I must say, and so I stopped crying for a while because I was already...
You had found a way to let out some of the
pain. So people do things because of probably what they're going through.
But Dr. Annalisa, are there medical implications for
everything has
tattoos?
medical implications?
Oh yes, I mentioned some.
Maybe she should educate us a little. Maybe you might change your mind.
No.
I don't think she's changing her mind.
No, I don't her mind.
Yeah.
No. I mean, some of the instruments that are used. If you don't go to a good place, of course, you can have infections. If it has contaminated blood on it, they don't sterilize it well. It could transmit it to you as well. And I mentioned some people have allergies. So allergies may be immediately after that or some time after. Depending on your pain threshold, some people, after a while, they are okay. Some people takes a very long time. Some people don't follow what they're supposed to do. You're supposed to wear clothes that don't really cover, then they go and wear clothes that stick on it, and it becomes worse and it looks terrible. And some people, if maybe they were trying to use it to battle depression or anxiety, and it turns out that the face looks worse than the person they were tattooing, even worse, more depression for them. Yeah, so I think that, well, we all have, especially in our culture, it's a bit some way for us. Most of us are conservative and reserved when it comes to tattoos. But I think that living in a world where everyone is different, we should understand people, the reason behind people doing stuff, you understand. Maybe if you, I always say that in life, maybe if you had the same opportunity somebody had, or if you walked through the path that they walked through, some people, maybe they really had no direction. Anything their friends said, let's go and do, they did it.
You know what? I think that I'm going to change my position on tattoos. I am not going to judge based on what I have seen. I think that I'll get to know the person beyond the tattoo.
I have a
but no dragon tattoo.
I don't judge.
Or snake.
With tattoo.
No dragon or snake.
Exactly.
Maybe you should take
Snake is a no-no. Snake.
Maybe you should take Araba along. Something very small.
And some people have
Araba must be there to experience me having a tattoo.
It'll take away my anxiety. Probably.
Yes.
Okay,
But
thank
it's
you.
painful.
Very.
It's painful.
Yeah, very.
It's painful.
I learned the one on the neck. The next side is the west.
And so if it's going to be your first time today, I advise you to have it at a part where not everyone would see, and to have a small one because it's your first experience. What if you don't like it anymore? Also, you need to understand that, especially in Ghana, a lot of people judge people who have tattoos. So are you willing to face the everyday judgment? Most people, I find out that most people who have tattoos are unable to live with it, but I always tell them, you should know this is what is coming.
So once to live with it, why did you
live with it? That's my point. You should know that in a society in which we live, there's a lot of judgment that comes with it. So once you're going to get it, this should be one of the things you should know that you're going to experience on a regular basis, and then build a strong shelf or cover to fight or stand against
I mean,
it.
when people meet me
Yeah.
and they ask me about my
Like
look
piercings.
and ask me about my piercings, and they go like, oh, so your piercings, don't you regret? I said, no, I don't regret it. I did it because I wanted to do it.
Yes.
And I'm proud of it. There are days that, of course, I don't want to wear earrings in all ears. There are days that I want to. And so that's who I am. If I'm going to get a tattoo.
Let's see some of the piercings. I see some.
Oh, you
over
see
there.
some. So
how many do you have there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. And then I have 1, 2, 3, so 8.
Okay, but the brow, how long did the pain last for?
So it's instant, I must say. So when you're doing it, yes, it's painful. When it's done, it's done.
And how did you deal with it?
I cried. I played loud music. I screamed on the girl. I told her, stop it. She said, auntie.
Do they give painkillers before?
No,
No,
what
they
they
don't.
numbed the place.
Okay.
But you know,
After numbing, that's when the real pain comes.
Yes, when it wears off. It wears off after about like 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
where
when-
the real
yes,
pain
yes.
is.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's how I dealt with it. But once it was done, no more pain.
I see. Interesting.
Yeah, but the treatment is another level too. So yeah, there's the 2 months of treatment. You can't wash your face. No water can touch. Yeah.
You don't wash your face
No,
for 2 months?
So yeah, so you use a
you use
towel,
a towel.
to
Okay.
clean your face.
Okay.
Because you can't have water in there. And all of that. Yes.
Wow. Amazing.
Right, thank you very much, ladies. Viewers, we've been discussing when does discipline become too much? Should one always speak the truth? And tattoos, would you want to have one, a yes or a no? And you've heard the views of my beautiful and astute ladies. My name is Nadu Olenu. But before we go, I want to take the final submissions of my beautiful ladies. So let's start from Roslyn, who we've been on her today. Good to have you. Please come again.
I'm always here. Anyway, so where should we start from? Should we start from should we go straight into the tattoo?
Any topic you would want to finalize on.
When it comes to tattoos, I just call it beauty. People are what's the right word? People are allowed to enjoy what they feel comfortable in. I don't judge when it comes to beauty. I've met people tell me, why do you have friends who expose themselves? And I tell them that there are some very good people out there who might not look the way you want them to look, and everybody's upbringing is different, so I won't judge. I could probably advise you along the way. So if beauty makes you comfortable, be comfortable in your own skin, because when you go into that room, the person judging you will not be there when you are battling with your depression.
Exactly.
Right, Araba.
So I'd like to talk about truth telling, and because that is what I know because of the business I'm in. But I've learned that it's important to gauge the room, as Annalisa said. Read the room. It's not every time that you should, open your mouth and say the truth. You need to withhold the truth sometimes. So read the room, gauge the environment before you decide to talk.
And she'd also like to say that if you are a man with a tattoo, come.
Baby steps.
Baby steps. So just something small.
Something very small. Maybe a heart will do.
I think everything today has been interesting, but I just like to talk on the punishment bit. We need to understand our children, and the fact that one punishment method worked for child A doesn't mean that it will work for child B. So treat each child based on what punishments work for them, and don't move from discipline to abuse. You may end up doing something terrible. You hurt your child and then you bring your child to the hospital and you have to pay more money. So please, let's just be a bit guarded in the way we try to discipline our kids.
Yeah, and to add to that, she mentioned that let the children also know reason why you are punishing them. Don't just punish them without telling them what you did. So Ama, you did this. Please tell them what exactly they did, and the next time they would not repeat that. It's been an exciting episode. Thank you very much, Araba Kumsin. Thank you as well, Roslyn, Feli, and then Dr. Annalisa. My name is Nadu Olin. It's been an exciting show. See you next time. This has been The Citizens.
Bye.